Never too strong for me.
But this is apple flavored, so.
Oh, good. A little apple.
I feel like I've been drinking all day. I have.
Yeah, shout out to Mojiles in their van.
We live?
Yeah, we're live. 100%.
See if I get the notification now.
Yeah, you should.
I see it. Pop the
Yeah, we'll let some people load up in here real quick before we get going. Get this liqueur in my heart. Get it flowing through my body. Oh, watch your headphones, Joe. I gotta put on phantom power for his mic. Okay, that wasn't bad.
Okay.
Yeah, now we hear you. You're good.
Ooh. There.
Turn you up a little bit. Yeah, there you are.
Yep. I
Fresh.
can hear me.
Fresh.
God, I fucking hate that.
Man, I'm excited about this show, about this episode.
Yeah, the drummer ones are different. The drummer ones are just better. So.
Yeah, but tonight, I mean, I'm not like the odd man out with the drums on the drums because Joe's here and he brought like 50,000 fucking pedals.
Yeah, he did. His pedalboard's fairly impressive. Episode 22. Part 4 of the Drummer to Drummer series. Holy cow, we got Mr. John Quave, local legend. How you doing, John? You good to go?
Good.
Hell yeah.
Thank you. Thank you for having us.
You look fresh, man.
Oh, I just had a shower.
I'm enjoying it.
5 seconds ago.
That's not very punk rock, John.
It's not very punk rock at all. And we got Mr. Joe, assistant on bass. How you doing, Joe? You doing good?
I didn't shower for 3 days because of this.
You don't need to, man.
Put some stank on that bass.
He's real, man. He's a real dude. That's why he doesn't have to. I showered this morning, but I didn't use soap, so
sweet.
I'm good to go. I had 14 questions and I just forgot them all, Mitchell.
You would.
Yeah. It's been a long day. We did.
What'd you do? You get a haircut?
I got a fucking 18.
You cut too close to your head?
I appreciate that. No, they just lowered my ears.
What'd you do?
It's a nice haircut, though, right?
You get that haircut out behind the thrift store?
No, Asian girl cut it. She's really nice. She's probably watching.
What kind of discount? What kind of discount you give her for cutting your hair? You paying her? Or she paying you?
All right, let's get going with this thing. Let's get going with this thing. John, you playing with anybody right now?
I'm playing with Blue Tuna currently. Still have some other projects that I haven't had the opportunity to get back with due to the whole COVID pandemic. Kind of put a damper on a lot of things. But yeah, still when I can, we're trying to get together. We haven't played any shows since December of 2019. I think is the last show I played.
Jesus.
Maybe February.
Yeah.
February of last year. I think that might have been the last show that I did.
How long have you been a drummer?
I've been playing for, God, a very long time. Got my first kit when I was 13.
So before the military?
Yes, before the military, yes. Definitely before the military. Got my drum set about a week after Dwayne Bullock got his guitar. I don't know if y'all know who Dwayne is. Guitar player for La Turds, and countless other bands as well, and in between there, 3 Ton Rock and many others. Played many years with him, back and forth, in all kinds of different bands. But
would you say that was primarily like punk bands, punk years, your formidable drumming years?
Some punk. There was actually a lot of thrash. Some of the first stuff that we did was just rock. A lot of Van Halen. Really big into Van Halen back in the very first part of those days.
I mean, you're like what, like 43?
Oh yeah, I wish.
I mean,
Jesus, man.
I'm already here. You don't have to kiss my ass to get me here, man. So
43 is kissing his ass.
I know. We haven't even got to the knee surgery part yet.
We're going to talk about health problems too.
yeah, it helps to have a good HMO when you get my age. So good insurance.
Have you always been a pretty steady drummer, like always in one band or another?
There was about 10 years that I didn't play anything at all.
What?
Yeah.
When?
Why?
Well, I got married and moved, and then I came back. When I moved back down this way is when I started trying to play back again a little bit, picking up. It took a little while to get some chops back up, but I've been going since, more than 30 years now that I've been playing drums.
So you're saying you didn't like practice regularly for 10 years?
I didn't play a lick for more than 10 years.
How hard was it picking it back up after 10 years?
It wasn't that bad, man. Really, it wasn't hard at all. As Mitch mentioned, I went into the military. When I got out, I came in. The first thing I did was I bought a drum kit from Jim Pinkston. This was back when he was across the street at the old shop.
Yeah.
And I happened to go in at Beer 30 and got a great deal on a Mapex kit. It was an old Saturn kit. Built off of that, my dream kit, which was like a Neil Peart knockoff.
Yeah.
I had everything from like an 8-inch to an 18-inch, and everything in between. It was great. It's all rack mounted, not practical, but it was it was awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, you always remember your first kid. You know, it's like
man,
I feel like it's
great.
the thing you're the most proudest of. You know,
Absolutely.
I remember mowing yards all summer. Just this, I think it was my 11th grade, 12th grade year, and at the end of the summer, I had enough money saved up to go down to Mississippi Music, and I got a Pearl Export, a red, 5-piece. And what was his name? Rob Gronsky.
Gronkowski.
And sold it to me. And I had to get my mom to come in there and, because they're not going to sell a kit to some kid. And I was like, man, I've been mowing yards all summer, and yeah, man. What was your first kit, Phil?
Pearl Export Mirror Chrome, and I'll tell you why. I got the Mirror Chrome because I saw Dave Lombardo on a Slayer DVD play that Mirror Chrome Pearl kit, and I was like, hey, Ma! And we went over to Magnolia Music and paid $900 for a little 6-piece Pearl kit. And I kept that sucker for years and finally sold it for like $300. And then I got that D drum, the orange kit back there, and I've had that for 12 years. I can't find a reason to get rid of it.
I had my kit that first kit forever too, and even through Katrina, like I was still playing on it, and then I had to sell it to go on tour, and then I tried to buy it back, and the Katrina had like killed it, and the only thing that survived was the floor tom.
Yeah, well, yeah. If you get a good, only thing that matters on a drum kit is kick drum and toms. You can buy different snares. Yeah. I got a DW
Hardware.
snare. Yeah, and
Everything else is replaceable.
Everything else is replaceable. So if your kick drum and toms are good, there's no reason. I can't find a reason to get a new drum set. I want one.
It's hard to get rid of if you have a good quality, something that's. I don't want to say you have to go spend a ton of money on something, but if it sounds great, there's no reason to get rid of the.
It's kind of like the magic of drumming is being able to tune the drums to sound good. We were young, we were kids. We all bought fucking brand new drum sets because they're nice and shiny. And then you fast forward 3 or 4 years, and you're like, I probably could have done this with like a $200 kit from the pawn shop if I had only known that the magic was in. You can definitely get into the science of like the wood and the shells and the hardware. Definitely the hardware for sure. I learned that the hard way. You can easily break the hardware, but like the shells for the most part. If you're just gonna beat the shit out of it and be in a punk band or a metal band, $200 kit from the pawn shop's gonna do the trick. I would say
that heads the type of head, whatever battered, unbattered. Whatever's your floats your boat. And there's just, everybody's different. Everybody wants to have one thing, or someone has something specific in their mind on how they want to have it sound because they want to sound like whoever it is that their major influences are. So they'll go purchase those whatever it may be.
Oh, right. Yeah.
To try and make it sound. Just same thing with guitars and strings, man.
Exactly. When that
It doesn't matter as long as it's a good and it fits you, you know. And it also helps round who you are as a musician.
Who were your influences?
Man, I got a lot. Alex Van Halen's a big influence. Dave Lombardo's a huge influence. Ginger Baker, Bill Ward's really big. Bonham. Oh man, Harvey Mason. I don't know if you know who Harvey Mason is. Harvey Mason's a jazz player. Tremendous. He's been playing for years and years and years. He's got an album called the Mason Funk and a Mason Jar. That if anybody watching needs to go take a look at that. That's some amazing stuff. But I float around, man. I listen to a lot of different types of music. My dad was a musician when I grew up, so
did he play the drums as well?
No, he's a guitar player. And he played a lot of top 40 stuff. Not even back when he was playing, it was the 70s and 80s was rock and some other stuff there. But I always had music in the house, always. And my dad didn't know how to read sheet music, so he would learn by ear, and that's how I learned how to play. For the most part, is I prefer to learn or to play by ear. If it's something that I'm covering or I'm trying to emulate or something like that, I'll listen to it over and over and over and over again. I can read drum music. I went to school and played in the St. Martin band for years, and then graduated. Didn't do anything else with that. Beyond that point, the sheet music went right out the window. But
drum sheet music looks weird.
Yeah, it's way different.
The slashes,
way different than trying to read regular clef notes or anything.
I thought it was going to be way easier to learn than regular sheet treble or bass music, and I'm like, what the?
It's its own
these fucking slashes. I was like, no.
It's its own different thing altogether again. What is this X and this little thing over here? What does that mean?
Yeah.
How many fucking snare rolls you want here?
That's funny. It's funny because I tried out for St. Martin drum band and didn't get it.
And look at you now.
Look at me now, you son of a bitch.
That's a fucking St.
You
Martin
son of a bitch. Where are you at now? Where are you at? I got 3 drum sets in here. Sorry, I got triggered. We'll back up.
God forbid we mentioned Jerry Seinfeld. Jesus. John, I had the great pleasure of getting to play with you for a couple of shows a couple years ago. The last couple of makeshift lover shows. And man, you had been on my radar before that with a couple of bands that you were in, Makeshift Lover, and you were in Kaboom for a minute. And when I got to play with you, actually come over to your house and get in your garage, man, I was just like it was so, I don't know, exciting to see someone so focused. Like everything has a place. You're just, I mean, like, you know where I'm going with this. I like, it's the fucking military. It's the fucking military in this motherfucker.
He's that guy.
Yeah. Everything's super organized.
Stay out of my house.
Toolboxes. There's like the wires on the wall. Everything's color coded. But
I can't have shit everywhere, man. I got to be able to maneuver and get in and out, and it's in the garage, so I still have to use the garage.
Yeah. But playing with you were just like, it's like no bullshit. Let's go through this. You're already well rehearsed on getting through the songs. If anybody got lost, you knew exactly where we were. And I was like, this is the kind of motherfucker you want to be in a room with. It's like this is the kind of motherfucker I wanted to be in a room with when I was like 16, trying to get a band going, like get something done.
Well, that again comes from, and thank you very much. And it was my pleasure to get to have you over and be able to do those shows. Years of playing with different folks, man. Not everybody's able to stay focused on what's going on. That's one thing that I do excel at, is I can stay focused on what I'm doing from start to finish, and I'm not very easily sidetracked on something else usually. Now when we start drinking, it might be that's different. That's a little different, but I can try. I like to stay focused on what we got going on. I do like to get in there and knock things out. I don't it's practice for a reason. It's to get in there and tighten up the things and make it better. And
exactly.
And if we have an issue, I don't mind sitting and staying on one spot if we have to, or if we move on and come back to it if that's a better, a better option to come back and work our way through those problems.
It was your work ethic that I picked up on immediately, like just being in there. Like I'm like, yeah, he's very like well aware. Like this, we're not here to practice. We're here to rehearse the songs. Everybody should already know their shit, and then we just like tweak out the little things that need to be ironed out. But don't show up asking what the notes are, or, what the progression, how many times are. And I'm like, I'm looking at you like, this is the motherfucking band director over here. We're in his house.
Yeah, there's definitely times for that. Everybody's first get together, but the majority of us that were all in there, we'd all played together again for a little while. And Ken Guanapa was playing bass with us then. He's really good about doing the same thing. He tries to stay focused on what he's got going on. So I mean, just the time frame that we had, we didn't have a whole lot of time to really,
Well, you and Ken you already knew the songs, like
yes.
From previously playing, and I was pretty much the one being brought up to speed on everything. But yeah, I had a lot of fun with you. And then I think last time I talked to you, you had messaged me about maybe doing something. I think like you were talking about having to have knee surgery or being sick or something. And
I actually had a blood clot in my leg.
Oh my God!
Yeah, that was that, and I'm still not. The blood clot I think is gone, but I'm still taking blood thinners. I had very limited mobility in my leg, just from the clot. I've never had anything kind of knock me down like that before.
Get old Joe over here to massage your leg.
Yeah, you gotta rub that out,
you
bro.
Do anything anyway.
You gotta take them knuckles and rub it out. Just don't look at him in the eye when you do it.
Deep
that's
tissue.
What makes it good.
That's
I need
right.
Deep tissue massage.
That Swedish massage. Yeah, I remember because when we were in I remember you wore the braces on your knees, and I kind of was like, I don't know, this guy. I don't know.
Yeah, man. I've had some problems with my knees in the past, but that got the golden trophy on top of everything else. I haven't had anything that knocked me out like that before, which is another thing that kind of set me back at the beginning of the year, or from last year, 2020. It was it was in February, the end of February, when I got diagnosed with that, and it was one of those things where I'd had problems with my leg, didn't realize what it was, had gone to the doctor a couple times. No, you're fine. And then they do an ultrasound of, oh, shit, you got a blood clot from your ankle to, almost up the mid part of your thigh. So it's a little bit different, kind of.
Are you still on blood thinners?
Yeah.
So are you drinking Red Bull, Mountain Dew, getting amped up, and then getting on the kit and blasting away some Van Halen?
Absolutely, every day.
What are we doing here? 3 pots, 2 pots of coffee. What?
I mean, I'm not a doctor. I kind of am, but I'm not a doctor.
I mean, I would say you are with that haircut.
I appreciate that. But like a blood clot is when the red blood cells bunch up together and clot the bloodline. Am I right?
You're correct.
I totally guessed. So in my mind, extreme physical activity don't you want to bust that out? Am I right?
And that was kind of a concern. The blood clot coming loose or parts of it coming loose can cause you to
it could go to your heart,
your lungs. There's a lot of different bad things can happen from that, and you die from that. So
there was a couple of drummers that died from it. Or not. I'm sorry. I remember the drummer from REM. He had an aneurysm because the clot went to his brain.
Yes, it's not a good thing to have that.
No.
There's a couple of different treatments that they do initially. Sometimes they give you there's like a shot. I don't know what the hell it is they give you, but it basically breaks it up immediately if it's something small. But because of the size of what was in my leg, they chose to break it up over time with the blood thinner. The blood clot's gone, but there's scar tissue in the vein now. And their concern is if I get taken off the blood thinner, it'll allow the clot to come back.
Oh, shit. Look, this is getting dark, guys.
Yeah.
This is getting dark.
Wait, we're talking about your future.
Not me.
You need to know.
I'm going to die in a car wreck in 5 years. That's my plan. I ain't worried about none of that shit.
Fucking tree's going to fall in your house.
Oh, yeah. Tell me about it.
I already did.
Jesus God.
Wizard of Oz over here.
Hey, Joe, you've never played in the band with this guy. Is that
I
true?
haven't. We've played around each other a lot, like just played shows with each other's bands, and I played with other people in his family, but we've never played together.
But you just hate each other that much.
Yeah, I don't
You
like this motherfucker
The dude's
at all.
annoying. The shape
At
of
all.
the look of his face gets me.
Fucking farts stink real bad, and it's hard to be around.
I messaged him with someone else's phone to even get him here, so it was a complete, total surprise for him to show up and see me here.
Fucking hate this dude. I'm out of here.
I mean, would you play in the band with him?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely.
As long as he was on the other side of the stage.
Yeah.
What do you? I'd like give my left nut to be in a band with these two assholes. I mean, holy cow. Joe is probably one of my like. I don't want to say noise bassist, but I'm going to say noise bassist.
Yeah, good.
Is probably
Good.
my most favorite noise bassist ever.
I'll jump on that train.
It's especially on the Gulf Coast. Your band is definitely my favorite band. My local, as far as like fucking.
Have you met those dudes?
have you seen them?
Yeah.
But no. Yeah, you two. I mean, I could. I can't wait to hear you guys lock in together because I got to play. I've seen Joe play a billion times, and I got to see you play. And get to play with you. So I'm really excited to see. You talk about your influences and your style and how it's composed with the fills and I don't know if you do paradiddles and shit like that, but
Yeah, he's.
I try to. Yeah. Everything's the Marine Corps hymn when I'm playing. So no, I'm just kidding. I like to let the music breathe. That's the biggest thing. The easiest thing is to just overwhelm things with fills every time there's a break or something like that. Sometimes, depending on what you're playing, the music can allow for that. Sometimes the music can't. Like playing with Makeshift Lover, I could put a lot of fills in and it would be great. Playing with Hallelujah Gangbang, the tempo's a little bit different.
For people that are tuning in and watching and they've never heard Hallelujah Gangbang, how would you explain that band?
It's if Black Sabbath was on heroin, that would be Hallelujah Gangbang.
Yeah.
So it was a dark.
Pretty sure Black Sabbath was on heroin.
Pretty much.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
It would be a lot more heroin.
You just liked them when they were on heroin. You're like, that's how I want to sound.
a lot more heroin. So our tempos are super slow. It's very heavy, very loud. We were a 3-piece, and a lot of what was going on, it just didn't let me do those kind of fills. I mean, there's definitely no Dave Lombardo spots to put things in that would make it, bring it up. That's where more of a Bill Ward approach does come in, and kind of a more of a jazz really is the best way to put it. A jazz background to play some of the fills in worked best with that band.
Do you play a lot of jazz drums?
No, I don't. I listen to a lot of jazz. I listen to a lot of different types of jazz. No one down here does anything like that other than I think maybe Dave Knorr might be the only one that really, really, truly into some heavy jazz chords. But no, don't do too much on the.
Because I didn't know you at the time, but I seen you with bands like years ago and stuff, and you seem like a really strict drummer, and I could tell that you didn't learn how to play drums like by watching YouTube or anything like that. Like, did you?
Yeah, there was no YouTube when they didn't even have Tube when I was young.
AOL.
And which is, I mean,
did you have AOL online though?
They didn't even have that when I was learning how to play.
Dude.
So yeah,
it was the VHS drum videos. You could go. Yeah, they had them at Pinkston's and Mississippi Music, and you could order them. Because I remember like in high school, like going over to people's houses and be like, check out this new Flea video, and it's like an hour and a half of Flea trying to teach you how to play bass. But they also had drum videos, for that stuff too.
The only drum videos I had were I had a couple of VHS tapes that had Rush Live, A Show of Hands, and All the World's a Stage. And anytime it focused on Neil Peart's playing, I was able to really look and see how he, what all he was doing, how he made it look so fluent, like it was very effortless. Is a better way to explain it.
Let me back up because I'm missing you guys. let me center myself. Did you learn how to play by jamming with guys?
Yes.
Watching other guys. So like putting in the hours, just
yes.
Figuring it out. Okay.
And again, my dad grew up playing music, so I would go to some of his rehearsals. I couldn't necessarily get into like the actual show. Sometimes, depending on, and this is like, not to really give away my age all the way.
We already did that.
Yeah. So like in the late 70s, they weren't too strict on like little kids coming in if they were part, if I hung out with the manager or whatever.
Yeah,
I could sit there and go see certain things. Yeah. I couldn't go to all of my dad's places that they played music with. But watching them practice and rehearse, I was able to see a lot of different things. Going to other band rehearsals and watching other drummers play. And then again, listening to whatever it was that I wanted to play. I mean, I would spend hours just playing at my house. We go practice. Practices couldn't last long enough. And then people were like, would you just stop fucking playing? We're done. We're not practicing no more today.
Right.
Yeah. No, let's keep going. But that's part of my drive, man. I mean, the more complex something is, the more it makes me want to learn how to do that, or how it draws my interest in stuff.
I feel like drums is one of those instruments where you benefit the most if it's one-on-one and you have someone to sit and show you, just to slow down the pace,
yes.
in the steps of how to build out a beat or a fill. But also you're talking about the drive. And I know from when I first met Phil, he was just kind of, getting into being, really concentrating on the drums. Actually, when I met Phil, he was a singer in a band. And then I was like, oh, you played drums
singer
too.
or senior?
I was very good.
He was a vocalist.
I was a vocalist. I was a professional vocalist in a professional band.
Gotcha.
If you want to.
But I've got to watch him grow and expand over the years as he's like, try to hone in on his skills. And I can I'm not a drummer, but I can relate to that drive, because as I struggled with drums, like trying to get my timing down and my coordination with my kick foot, it really only worked or helped when I sat and I practiced every day, just beating the shit, like to whatever I was trying to practice to, that I was actually able to do more. And then, 4 months go by. Oh, now I can easily coordinate through the toms, doing something that I couldn't do before without tripping up and hitting my sticks or hitting the rims. That drive.
Well, there's so much more available to someone that wants to learn how to play now. Regardless, drums or guitar or whatever it is, there's YouTube. There's so much social media outlet to choose from to pick and your whatever it is you want to do. I know that Phil does a lot of personal videos that he posts, which are great, man. Because that's somebody getting on and trying to learn how to do something.
Yeah.
That's someone who's going to be able to look and see what you're doing. And
right.
Okay, well, that's how you do that.
Mm-hmm.
It really makes a lot of sense to be able to sit down and be able to do that kind of stuff.
It's also like a signal to say, like, you're
I wish
active.
I could do that. I wish I could do that. I could post some things.
You can.
Everybody can.
I'm
You
way
got a phone?
too critical of my. I'm too critical of me.
No, we gotta get out of there, bro. We gotta get out of there, because look, no, I know what you're talking about. Because I made 100 videos and I'm like, delete. I'm not doing it. It's not good enough. Or I messed up, or I didn't hit this at the exact right time because I'm playing to, and I got off the click or whatever. And I got to a point where I'm like, I'm wasting my time. Like, let's just post everything, and the hell with the comments. Like, I just stopped reading the comments and I just started posting shit. And overwhelmingly, it's a positive response. And people that don't like it are not going to watch it.
Yeah,
right?
No, that's
they're going to watch it
true.
once, and they're not going to watch it again. But I kind of force people to watch it because I like shit, and I fucking spam their shit.
Look at this, like paying to sponsor it. Like,
I was like, really good, guys. I'm telling you. But no, you just gotta. I mean, if that's what you do, you just gotta keep putting that out there.
No, I agree. I agree with you on that. And this may be my inspiration to post a video that's
Start
going to
your own
fail.
channel.
It's going to fail miserably, and I'm going to come back and say, God damn it, man.
Well, look, you're about to post a video live tonight. You know what I mean?
We're going to edit that shit.
Man, shit. Yeah, that's what we, look. With what we do here, we edit nothing. Now, look, if you want to come back and do a drum video, we'll do a drum video.
I may take you up on that, man. I have to.
We'll professionally like record it and film it and all that shit. Me and Mitchell. I don't know if you know, we it's $1 million, 8,000 square foot studio you're in. We got a bathroom, we got tile floors. We're not. It's not a game. So if you want to come back and do a legit video, prepare some stuff with Mr. Joe or somebody else, we'll do it.
We're gonna have to do it during the day so I can find the damn place.
Yeah, I know, right? We gotta we gotta get a red light or something out here because everybody does what you guys did. They go in the circle, they back up. My parents get nervous. Everybody gets nervous. Everybody's getting their guns like, "Hey, man, there's a truck. I don't know. A couple of middle-aged bald dudes out here. I don't know what's going on."
Yeah, I'm thinking we're at a witness relocation house, a safe house somewhere.
Yeah, you're pretty safe out here. Like his whole family, everyone that lives out here, they all have guns, lots of guns.
Oh yeah.
So anyone that drives down the road,
that's all good.
It's
aim for the head.
I always feel like it's that scene either from the movie with Denzel Washington, and they go down to the cul-de-sac, and once you're there, you're trapped. Because everyone's got all the gangsters have guns on you and you can't get out, so you're stuck, so you're fucked. Yeah, it's like that's how it is here. I mean, if like they don't know you, somebody's gonna come out their house like, I don't recognize that car, I don't know who's pulling up. Like I have to tell him if I'm coming by to drop something off, you need to let your dad know because he doesn't have good eyesight, so he's gonna come out with a gun
shake your hand
and fucking try to shoot me. So you need to tell your uncle to calm down because I'm just dropping something off, on the front porch. But yeah, it's
Oh man, I grew up out here. My dad lives not too far from here.
How far?
He lives off of Jim Ramsey.
Oh, so we're probably cousins.
Yeah. Well, yeah, probably.
Oh, you want to hear something funny? So one of my best friends, his name is Jonathan Quave, and for the longest fucking time, like you would show up, in his Facebook feed, you'd be like, who the fuck is John Quave? Who is this? How do I not know? It's somebody else has my name. But yeah, we always thought that was really funny. I have Quaves in my family, but he was like, I don't know how I'm related to this person, but they have the same name as me. There's a big Quave family here.
There's at least a dozen John Quaves in this area, in this area. Because there's another John Quave that plays guitar. I don't know if y'all. I think he goes by John Crazy band. Quave but that John Quave, he plays guitar. So I mean, and we're not directly related. We have to be somewhere along the line, kind of distant thing.
Yeah,
but
something weird happened.
Going back, yeah.
I dated a girl and she was my cousin. It was weird.
Her name was John Quave?
No, yeah, her name was John Quave. Oddly enough, right? John Christina Quave. I remember her name. She was very pretty. She had high cheekbones. An ass you could set a Coke can on.
Great drummer too.
Yeah, she played drums. It was great.
Very short hair.
John, can we see some licks? Can we see some go-to beats on the kit of how you bring your style together from the different influences you pull from?
Sure. Let me
give us a second here, everybody, while John moves to a kit.
Yeah, put it on me there. Let's adjust.
Now that we got old Joe here. Joe plays in a band called X Bastards.
Hell yeah, he does.
Have you heard of X Bastards?
Yeah, it sounds. Never mind. I'm not gonna make that joke.
I mean,
what a great band! Yeah, swap, and then we'll get his microphone into that DI box. We'll work it out.
What you been doing today, Phil?
Oh my God, we did. What did we do? We did Red Radio. We did some
all
stuff
day
on Red
long.
Radio. Holy cow! The dude that builds tiny houses. What's his name?
Carter.
Holy, yeah, that dude was interesting. If I had that van. Some nasty, bad stuff would happen. I want to say that. But hey, do you want to do
the pimp life?
Yeah, we'll wait to do the show announcement.
Sure.
Yeah, we'll wait on that. I don't want to.
You don't want to blow your load to her.
No, don't want to do that.
Look, you get on to me for yelling into the microphone.
I backed up. I tried to back up.
Should the power be on?
Yes. Hey, Mitchell, can you plug that mic cable into his DI box? And we'll get that going, and I'll level everything out. We're gonna hold these viewers here. We're gonna hold every one of them. We're gonna hold Carl Feldmeyer. We're gonna hold Lola Gruch. We're gonna hold Lance Reynolds. We're gonna hold Jimmy Sellers. We're gonna hold Tracy Lee Bird, Manaman. I think I pronounced that right. We're gonna hold them all. We're gonna hold Carl Feldmeyer. We're gonna hold somebody's phone's on. That's what's happening. We're gonna hold Jimmy Sellers. Somebody's phone's on. That's all right. We're gonna hold them all. Check that phone. There we go. Somebody's phone. All right, one down. It's my phone. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. These are looking good back there. Let's see what we got here. Ooh. Ooh. You hear that okay, sir?
It's a little low.
It's a little low? I can fix that. How's that?
I think that's a little bit better. Thank you.
Hell yeah. I feel good about it. I feel really good about it.
Still around my damn shoulder.
It's nipply.
Is it cold?
Over here it is.
Wow.
That's how big this room is. It's
Oh. Well, once you guys get moving, I think we'll be okay.
Oh, yeah.
I think we'll be good.
Richard Simmons over here.
I feel good about it. I feel good about that pedal board. I wish we had a camera on the pedal board.
enormous.
That's what we need.
Here.
Making up for shit.
Yeah. Take that shit out.
Yeah, we didn't get it, but that's all right. That's all right. Don't worry about it, Mitchell.
There it is.
Yeah, there you go. It's too many. It's too many. That's the point.
That's a good shot right there.
It is.
Look at that shot. Focuses.
Yeah, I love.
Body.
Don't you just love those bass players that show up with 19 pedals?
It's only like 9.
Like,
I got some that aren't even on there right now.
it's like, oh, this is gonna go well. Yeah, so if you guys want to go over, if you want to go over a lick or something you've rehearsed in the past, whatever you want to do.
Just start off like showing like go-to fills or your favorite snare.
I guess. Well, and again, depending on what band I'm playing with, because they're not all playing anywhere near the same styles of music. The Bill Ward thing I was talking about before for the Hallelujah Gangbang stuff. There was a with maybe more of a punk rock up tempo beat, maybe.
And what about like the jazz stuff?
The jazz stuff's it's a little bit trickier. Because it didn't follow. It's within a 4/4, but there's a lot of different hits. So. Maybe some a little bluesy.
Yeah.
Terrible at blues.
He's terrible at everything. I don't even know why he's playing.
Hey, activate 2 of those pedals at the same time. How about that?
All of them on.
How about that? Just do it. Just the jammy jam. There you go.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Joseph Martin Show.
Good Lord. Good Lord.
Thank you so much for letting John show off his drum fills. Really appreciate that, Joe.
Yeah, thanks, bud. Thanks, bud. I think there's too many strings on that bass.
Oh, excited. It was the first time I ever played
Holy
together.
shit.
John was in the fucking pocket, man. It was good.
Right.
Well, now that you're warmed up, how about we get old Phil in there?
Yeah,
And maybe we do a little like 30 seconds on Phil's kid and 30 seconds on and the whole thing we're gonna do here is to show how, like, Joe, you just play whatever.
Yeah.
And we'll let Phil tackle it in his own way, and then we'll let John tackle it in his own, just to show the difference in styles.
But here's the thing that you got to remember. Here's the thing that you got to remember. My body is filled with testosterone. Okay,
Right.
so first of all,
You need a girlfriend.
every time I'm working on it. Every time your shirt's not helping. But look. When you play this next bass riff, when I get back there, we're not playing no fucking games, okay? Get the fucking testosterone rolling, and let's get it going, okay? Big Black Tools, all right? Do not let me spill a drink on your program.
Yeah, it won't be the first
Just
time.
move that cable wherever.
No, it won't be the first time.
Okay. I have no double pedal. Let's make that clear. I have no double pedal. It's all good. Let me turn this on. Yeah, you know, just give me something light, but also filled with testosterone. And is my you good with that?
Yeah.
All right. Hey, when you are, sir. 3, 2, and a 1. Let's hear John go. All right, Phil, let's hear it.
right, Phil, come on. Everybody, buffalo. Bring it home, Joe.
Hey, that was good.
Oh my God. I knew this was going to be a good episode. I didn't know it was going to be this good. All right. So for this last segment, a portion of this segment, Joe, we asked the attending guest performer to just, I mean, I know you're ripping it, but to rip it even harder.
Go harder.
And we're just going to see if these guys can keep up.
Wait. I got it.
Yeah, Phil needs a little breather.
I'm exhausted.
I mean, John's doing fine. I mean, he's got basic training breathing over
I
there.
feel like I just got done with a 280 pounder. You know what I'm saying?
I stopped breathing like 2 minutes ago, man.
Holy shit.
Oh, jeez. I'm blown out too. Maybe I'm killing me.
Let's calm down.
For this portion, John, you just like you and Phil just come in whenever you want.
Fight for it.
So I just throw shit at Joe? Is that what you're saying?
Yep.
Because I heard throw something at Joe. That's what I heard.
He's used to that.
Because this segment is really about Joe, but we're going to make it about us. If that makes sense.
Fuck all y'all.
don't think there's any paint left on the walls. Holy cow!
Holy shit.
Yeah, come back to the table so we can talk about this. Oh my God!
We could have went so much longer. I know exactly what's happening.
So Joe is in a band. This like I don't know what you'd call it. It's like a folk blues band, and they play obscure '60s disco covers. But anyways, Joe's in a band called Ex Bastards, and they have two bass guitar players. Joe is not one of them, but they have two bass guitar players that are really, really good. If you ever see a promotion for Ex Bastards performing on the Gulf Coast, definitely check them out. Bring your earplugs. They will make the walls vibrate. There's so much bass in the room. It's unbelievable. I had the good fortune, me and Phil had the good fortune of doing sound for one of their shows, and I can honestly say that our equipment was not well equipped to handle the Ex Bastards. Just to be able to get above their volume, it was so hard. Just constantly riding the faders on it because they're so freaking loud. Yes. But I love it. Because my philosophy on bass is when you go to show, if you zero in on the bass player, you should feel the bass frequencies in your chest, or at least making your balls tingle. If that's not one of those two things is not happening, if not both, then somebody's not doing their job. And I love Joe because
he makes them tingle.
He not only does he make them tingle,
I don't even have to play bass to do that.
But you feel like you got impregnated after watching Joe play from all the tingling. But no, I love watching your band play. I always try to make it to like every show you guys. I mean, like as far as original stuff on the Mississippi Gulf Coast goes, I always tell everybody. This band has two bass players. They're doing something completely, different than everybody else.
Yeah.
Out of the 20 metal bands we have down here, it's not of the metal genre. It's just it's your own heavy genre. And I could always see why you guys and Hallelujah Gangbang made for a good couple on playing shows like when y'all played Zeppelins. I mean, it's just, very well.
I've also known all those dudes forever. Like, I used to be in a band with Shay way back in the day.
I think one of the best lineup shows that I've ever done has been, and this was at, was it Crest Live, or did y'all do the, anyways, it was I Hate God, the Hallelujah Gangbang, and the Ex Bastards.
Really?
We didn't play that one. That was what was it? Fucking space metal or some shit.
I thought y'all played the one up in Hattiesburg with us.
No, no, we didn't do that one either.
I thought you did the one in Hattiesburg.
I don't think so. It's getting hard to remember this shit.
Unreal.
I know y'all were there.
Mm-hmm.
The whole crew was there. So it's hard to. It's hard to remember all of the shows.
I get when I was playing. I'm not a bass player, but when I was playing bass, I used a lot of bass pedals to emphasize parts of the songs, and I get a lot of shit. Phil gives me a lot of shit. He still gives me a lot of shit about it, because I show up with a pedal board and be like, why you need all those damn pedals? And then I tell him, this is for the verse, it's for the intro, this is for the outro, this is for the segue.
Bullshit.
And then he'd be like, well, what's all these pedals do? And I'll be like, well, this is the distortion, this is the. He's like, they're all fucking distortion. You need 20 distortion pedals.
True story.
And I'd say absolutely, you need 22 distortion fuzz pedals to be precise. And then here's Joe. Joe shows up, and so this is another reason why I was so excited, because Joe shares that same philosophy of having a palette, even for the bass, to emphasize it, and all your tones. I mean, some of your pedals carry a really strong low end. Some of them don't. Some of them are carrying a strong top end, depending on which one you're hitting.
Yeah.
He's the only bass player who has a separate trailer for his pedals when they travel.
Benji's shit is just as fucking big. Don't even get me started.
Yeah. Oh yeah. You can't forget about Benji.
Yeah, the way that whole thing went down is I was playing on his bass rig one night, which is absolutely ridiculous. It's just unnecessary. And I was like, which one of these pedals? Because there's a barrage of craft pedals, if you will. I was like, which one of these pedals, which one of these little pedals, probably made by the Unabomber in a cabin in Montana, is a distortion pedal? And he said all of them. And I thought about that for like 6 months afterwards. I'm like, well, I thought there was a reverb. I thought there was an EQ. I thought there was a compressor. I thought there was a bunch of different effects. I thought there was flanger, maybe a vibrato, or some other weird stuff that you'll never use. But they're all distortion pedals. So I started mixing them up. And they all collectively sounded like
just like now.
And I just don't understand.
But this is why I'm so happy, because I actually got to see you play with someone using 28 fuzz pedals. And it went so well.
It did.
It was amazing.
I wish it would have had a double pedal, but it did go well. I'm gonna buy it tonight.
Phil's
dude.
handicapped.
Yeah, I am handicapped. Like, it's like playing golf with a fucking baseball bat. You know what I mean? You're like, you don't have the control. It really is. Like, I'm getting a double bass pedal tonight because I'm limited to like a handful of beats. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, that's not even that. It's just what you're used to. Like that bass I got now has got fucking 22 frets on it.
Yeah.
And most Fender jazz basses don't. And then I'll pick one up at Dutton and I'll find I'm like running out. I'm like, what the fuck? I'm so used to it.
Yeah, you go high. I've had that bass
for 20 fucking years. Like,
what?
I'm used to it.
His bass goes to 11, and the others only go to like 9.5.
Yeah,
that's how that works out.
Think you're better than everybody? Is that what it is? Son of a bitch.
I think that thing's a 99, I believe.
No, it's true. It's true. Like when I get on a single pedal, it's like I'm lost.
You're just used to it. It's just, man, it's like walking.
Yeah.
It's used to it.
I mean, I can't play drums anyway, so it doesn't matter. But I can fake some shit on a double pedal, you know. Mitchell gets it.
I've seen Phil play with a single pedal before, and I think he actually kind of, gets a little mad at me when I tell him that when he played the single pedal on a kit that normally wasn't his, 8-piece, 10-piece kit, and it was like I think a 4-piece kit, that he just, the overcompensation that he did on it, he sounded like the most amazing drummer in the world.
I appreciate that.
because he had to rethink everything that he had planned out and condense it or not play it, or play it in a simpler form. But you were talking about letting the song breathe. That's exactly what happened when he was on a single pedal kit. And ever since then, I always have told him that was the best I've ever heard you sound. And he's like, no. I got this Axis double kick pedal. You don't understand. I got $8,000.
I got to use it.
Yeah, that's true. I did let this. I played for the song.
Yeah.
Because I knew I wasn't going to show off. You know what I mean? I can't do like little tricks and my little things that I do, because I grew up on Fear Factory. I was all about that weird shit. So, and I started off with a double pedal. Like, I didn't learn how to play drums with a single pedal. Like, it was all about the double pedal. And when I see guys like working the hi-hat with the left foot, that's what I was talking about earlier. I'm like, what are you doing, dude? You can use that left foot for the left pedal, bro, and get that double bass.
That's the other beat.
Dude,
that's the other beat.
That's how you get them big checks and the big girls, you know what I mean?
Crank up the T.
Crank up the testosterone,
The first kick pedal I ever had was a Ludwig Speed King, right? And this fucking thing must have been made in like the late 50s, maybe early 60s. It was old. And what normally would be a metal bracket that goes from the beater to the pedal to hold it in place, that had long since been broken when I got it. And someone took, maybe twine is maybe a better word for it. Nothing like we'd have like today, like nylon or anything like that. This is some old string that someone would probably use to tie up meat to go put in the oven or something, right?
Yeah.
And that's what held the beater to the pedal, and that's what I learned to play on. So any shows I'd go out to go play, everybody's like, well, you don't have to bring a kit. Well, that's good, because mine's a piece of shit anyway. we have a kit here. Okay, well, I'm bringing my pedal. And they have all these really nice DW pedals or Pearl pedals or, all these fancy fucking pedals that are all out there, chain drive and Kevlar-driven pedals. I show up, and I have to carry this little piece of shit pedal of mine because my foot would go so fast on a regular pedal from having to overcompensate, not having a good pedal. I could play double bass with one foot for a long time, and I didn't even know it.
I remember people telling me that, like, before we hung out, like, oh, this dude fucking John Quave, he's playing Slayer on a single bass pedal. It's fucking awesome. I'm like, man, fuck that dude.
I'd say the same thing.
My legs should have been as big as the Hulk from me having to play that Speed King. And it made, if you ever listen to, it's a good Zeppelin song. There's a couple of them out there where it's kind of slow, where when he's you can hear the bass drum.
Yeah. Every
time he goes to hit a beat, it's squeaking in the background, and that's every show that I played. We'd stop, and that's all you'd hear. It's like two people fucking in the background because the beaters just, no matter what I sprayed into it, it squeaked. That's all it did. I was so happy to ever get rid of that thing, and it took me like 3 months to learn how to play on a regular bass pedal when I got something different. It's just, it's just one of those things.
It's what happens when you grow up poor and stuff. Like you gotta compensate. You gotta work with what you got. What are you playing on now?
I got an Orion Mapex kit, probably one of 3 that's down here on the coast. I bought it a little bit after Katrina.
It's fancy.
It is fancy. Fanciest thing I've ever had.
Once again, look, these guys, this whole show, like, we're better than everybody. We got one of fucking 2 kids. I got a fucking custom Fender bass. Nobody has it in the world. They made it for me. I called Mr. Fender.
It's got 23.5 frets.
It's one thing after another. Yeah. I got to have a certain amount of frets. Oh, boy. I'm dying.
Do you have a cymbal preference? Do you like?
I'm glad you asked that question. Okay, I'm gonna dive into this because I'm a stickler for this. You just triggered me. I started off.
That's why I came.
I started off. That's what she said. I started off on Sabian, right? Because Sabian sounds good. It cuts through. It's affordable, right? But then they started cracking and cracking and cracking. Yeah. And I hit it maybe, you're hitting them wrong. Whatever. They're cracking for the way I play. So I switched to a custom Zildjian. Mm-hmm. That's all I play right now. I will not buy another China other than a Wuhan China.
Yeah.
Because why, when you can spend $60 and it'll last for 2-3 years, because I play almost every day. And then just buy it, and it sounds great.
Yeah,
it sounds great. I've played on the $300-$400 K custom. You put a Wuhan in its place, I'm not gonna be bothered. So I just play Wuhan that. And all my little new metal buddies are like, "Oh, why don't you play Meinl? Huh? Why don't you play Meinl? You're getting up there in age. No offense, you're getting up there in age." Like, just play Meinl. Like, spend the money. And I was like, dude. A custom cuts just like the Meinl. It's cheaper. The Meinl's, if you want to, you could spend $3-4 grand on replacing what I have in the same with high quality Meinl cymbals. So I'm sticking with the A custom because they last longer.
Yeah,
they're just. I've had the same hi-hats. I bought them from. I traded Zach Sawyer of Wildfire SM58 for those hi-hats like 10 years ago. I've been playing the same hi. They sound great. Everything else is A custom, and I think I'm going to stick with them forever because they last longer. They're affordable.
Yeah,
cut through for what I want. I
had the same problem with Sabian. Got them. I got a couple of different versions, different series.
Mm-hmm.
Everything I ever bought from them, it cracked or broke, and it just could not handle how I played. And stick wise, I float back and forth depending on who I'm playing with and what I'm playing. If it's something that's light, I play a 7A. If it's something that's heavy rock, I play a 5B. All nylon tip. Now, it's not the way that I'm hitting. It's not the way that I hit hard, or they just don't they don't hold up for me.
Yeah.
They just can't handle how I play.
Yeah.
And I've had A Customs. That's what I went to from there was the A Customs. I did have a Meinl Byzance 22-inch ride that I broke twice. Cracked it at the bell. It cracked at the base of the bell. It's the craziest thing, and it's a heavy ride. It's big.
Yeah.
Sent it back out because it was still under warranty. Got it fixed. Came back, and less than 6 months later, it cracked on the opposite side. The same thing where it had been fixed. So I've replaced everything that I have now with Zildjian's S series. Have you played any of those?
I have not.
Yes.
You like them?
Oh man, I love them. It's the same thing. It's the same high quality as the A Customs. The texture's a little bit different. They're still bright, but they're affordable. They hold up. And I haven't. Sunshine, who plays with Liquor and Lies. I don't know if y'all know who that is. Out of New Orleans, one of Dean Miller's. Dean was with La Turds, bass player for La Turds, and then started playing with these guys. Well, their drummer, Sunshine's a girl. She had one that I played a show with them in Pensacola, and kind of fell in love with the sound of that ride that she had. Went back and started trying a couple of different things, but their S series are really nice. Meinl's, I just got into a conversation a couple of days ago on another person's page who is looking at getting Meinl's, and I voiced my opinion about one of the first sets I got when I bought the first Mapex kit from Jim Pinkston. That came with as a kit as a set of Meinl's, hand hammered, and they lasted me for years. Man, they were great. They were good cymbals. But the stuff that they've got coming out now, I'm not saying that they're not good. They're not good for me.
Yeah,
they don't work for me. If I have to something that big, if it cracks and breaks like that, and I'm not, that's just a ride, not a crash. I need something better.
Well, a ride should never crack, in my opinion.
Agreed.
It should never crack, and if it does, and you got nerds like Mike York's in the chat. Meinl's where it's at.
They do sound great though.
Hey, there's no argument from me on how they sound and the quality. I have no doubt that the quality is top grade.
Little John from Hattiesburg books all the tavern shows and stuff. I think we were at an Emerald Heavy show, and he's got a giant Meinl with a big chunk fucking cut out of it. And it sounds fantastic. I mean, it's one of the best sounding rides I've ever heard. It's a big old chunk missing out of it because it broke. You know, you had to have it fixed.
First of all, like if let's say I went with what Mr. Nerd Mike Yorks wanted me to do and got all Meinl cymbals, right? I mean, I'd have to drop some crazy cash.
They're expensive.
And they're
very expensive. The Byzance 22-inch ride that I had was a little over $600 that I paid for it, and then within a year and a half. Well, it was less than a year and a half. The first crack has developed. Sent it back out, and it was right at the end of the warranty. I'm thinking, this is great. They're not gonna hold up their end. They did. They sent it back out, and then they sent me a letter saying that they'd never seen anybody send one in with a crack like that before, and they want to know how it happened. And from playing, it's not necessarily just from touring or from anything else. I'm not standing on the damn thing or using it as a car jack. I'm playing it. So when it cracked the second time, I was like, no, this is it. I didn't even get should have got a letter.
There was no saving that
of authenticity of me tearing their shit up. And that didn't happen.
Did you do a lot of tours with bands?
I have done a lot of the stuff a lot of the touring that we did in the past. The most that I've done has been with Dustin Khalil stuff. The stuff that we did with Dustin Khalil,
like long dates,
long shows. Florida Music Festival. We did Comic-Con. We did a bunch of different things. But he was very active. We played every Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and sometimes on Monday, depending on certain venues. So at least 5 days a week. we played every weekend for almost 3 years. So, and then traveling back and forth, we did a lot of shows in New Orleans. Checkpoint Charlie's was a big thing over there for those guys. A lot of shows down here. We did some stuff over in Mobile, and other places in Florida and stuff too. So I mean, we did a lot of stuff. It was fun. It was fun. But some of the other stuff that I've done here with Holiday Gangbang and even with the Ripshits, I've been playing with Lance. Lance was on a little while ago. I don't know if he's still on or not, but some of the stuff we've done with those guys, getting them out, and that's one of the things that I like to do is we played with I Hate God and some other guys. I try to push us to go do things. Any band that I'm in, I want to make sure that we're doing everything we can. I want to push us 110%. So I'm, trying to beat the bushes to find out who's playing where and making contacts. Little John, that he was talking about up in Hattiesburg, that guy's connected. He plays in so many different bands. Before I Hang, Emerald Heavy, Savage Master. I mean, he tours a lot too. Yeah. So I mean, he's really contacted and connected with a lot of different people from around, just from his touring. So I try and stay in touch with him and some other guys I know that are booking. I used to try and do as much as I could down here to have a scene, if you will, for some of the stuff down here, which Nick, my brother, owned the Juke Joint and Zeppelins. And then he was part owner in the Crest Live stuff. So trying to get some things and have them bring bands in that I thought would do well, that would allow us to build that scene down here.
Right.
But, I mean, I guess it's easier for some of the club owners to hire DJs or whatever.
Oh, yeah. It's a tough business. Holy shit. Right? Especially here. It's weird. It's a weird business.
Yeah.
I mean, you got, like with Crest, like it's such a big place with so much overhead.
Yes.
Like you have to consistently have high level names in there every weekend, or if you miss a couple weekends,
bills get paid.
Yeah. Well, you got to look and see what the House of Blues is doing. I mean, because their venue's not as big as far as floor levels as what the Crest Live was.
Yeah, I feel like that was their model, right? Because it not for pulling in, because New Orleans can do that already. New Orleans can pull in from here. That's not an issue. New Orleans pulls in as far as Pensacola, for the most part. But for the people who don't want to travel all the way to New Orleans or deal with the streets or the traffic or the parking, then Crest was the option if they could get that same band willing. But most bands don't want to play that close geographically, but it's a different story now. We're post COVID. We're post pandemic now. We're in a different world. There's a lot of places that won't have live music. There's a lot of places that are trying to, and then you have the whole dichotomy between within bands and musicians. Some bands want to play in the public, some bands don't. So and then some people are just willing to get out there and be like, I don't care if I get sick, I just want to play music. I mean, it's a big split. You were saying you try to do the most in any band that you are in, and I wanted to say you are the guy that you want to be in a band with.
Oh, thank you.
Let me ask you this. So me and Phil, we're old school veterans here from the punk and metal. But in my earlier years, I would say that I was always that guy pushing, always trying to like make contacts, push the band as far as you could go, and everybody else is just kind of doing what they can for the most part, but maybe not as much as, because they're not invested, right?
Sure.
And now in my older age here, I feel like when I get in a room with dudes, if everyone's not invested, I feel like I'm wasting my time. I don't have any goals, any accomplishments to on the forefront, like, 'cause we're in a pandemic and we're probably always going to be in a pandemic in the near future, but there's I don't need to go tour, I don't need to go sell 500 shirts. I mean, if anything, it's just the ability to play a show. But more importantly, being in a room with dudes who are willing to sacrifice their time when I was younger, I didn't have that mentality. I was like, let me get in a room. I'll show you these songs. We'll go on tour for 5,000 weeks every year, and because that was the goal. That was the mindset back then. For you now, being a veteran drummer here, how is it for you? I mean, are you looking to just? Also, I'm asking, like, what do you foresee yourself in the near future with your current band? Is it like you're willing to play with anybody because it's not a big deal for you if you go play Crest or House of Blues, or do you even care about playing out? I mean, is it a big deal that you go play 4 or 5 nights a weekend? I mean, are you? Does the need come into the equation?
I'm kind of past having to go play every weekend. And again, with experience playing and playing as much as we have played, I've learned that it is important to not overplay any one location. So if you're playing every weekend, like some bands did before the pandemic, right? They played every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, all within the same locations between Ocean Springs and Biloxi. You have fewer and fewer people who are willing to get out and go stay to watch you play because you're playing the same thing you just saw someone play the night before, right? So they're more apt to leave and go see someone else playing down the block. Right. Just say Ocean Springs for instance, because that had the most in one small area that had live music. So Mosaic and their outdoor thing, and then what is it, the Glory Hole, whatever the hell it is. That's got a big outdoor
How
thing.
dare you?
That has a big outdoor thing. The grocery. There's just so many places down, and then everybody ends up at the juke joint at the end, right? So the shows don't typically start till super late there because the crowds don't get there until super late. But if you're playing there if I played at the grocery, I didn't book the juke joint the next night because I know even if it's late at night, half the people that's going to come show up there, if they saw us play the night before, they're going to leave anyway and go somewhere else because they just saw us play. So I would want to space that stuff out. That's me personally. I don't have to go play every weekend.
A great rule of thumb.
And in the past, I played with so many different bands all at one time. I can be playing with 2 or 3 different bands at once, all different genres of music, but all playing the same thing. I've gone filled in with guys. I don't have a problem with that as long as I know I have to feel comfortable knowing what I'm going into. I'm not a spontaneous spur of the moment, although this was getting here was kind of spontaneous, but
it's a weird situation.
This was amazing because now I know what it would sound like if I was in a band with you two.
Well, you say I'm just going crazy over here, but you can do that with John because he's a fucking time machine.
Yeah,
you're
not pigeon to one.
You can do whatever you want.
Yeah, one style. I don't see you as a punk drummer, right? You're a well-rounded drummer, blues, rock, classic rock, punk. It's all in the fold. You play to the performance,
whatever's going on. Yeah, and what you were talking before, and I guess that's one of the things you were talking about. Fills that my go-to fills. I don't really have a go-to. I guess it just depends on what all I'm playing and how I feel is more of how that works out. So I mean, and I do draw from. It didn't have to just be because I'm playing jazz. I'm gonna pull from a jazz player. I might pull some shit that I heard Dave Lombardo play that fits what's playing, and do something similar to as far as that goes. So a lot of the things that I have going on, there's just a lot of overlap, and it depends on how the tempo things are going, and also in relation to not just one person playing, but also listening to everybody play. Right. Whereas some bands, one person's focused on one guy and that's it. So if that one person gets off in a la la land, you're right behind them, and we're here to make sure that everything stays on track. We're here to wrangle everybody up. No, you're getting a little bit. Come here. You come over here. Mm-hmm. This is where we're at. This is the pocket. This is where we need to be at. So the moving forward during the pandemic, I'm happy playing no matter what I'm doing.
Do you like playing with older cats versus younger cats?
No, there really is no preference, man. Because I mean, in the past, the older guys that I've played with are great players, but there's a lot of issues that go along with some of that too. They're more opinionated. And
dementia,
that too. Forgetting what song are we playing? What is this?
Got blood clots in their knees.
Blood clots in their leg.
Way more opinionated.
Diapers. There's a lot of stuff going on.
Yes. Yeah. The younger guys that are playing, they're not. They haven't built up. I guess maybe the persona.
Yeah.
The
I'd say the understanding, like you're talking about, for example, with this actually came up on a earlier podcast. We were talking to a band, and they said something about playing like every weekend, every month at the same bar. And I was like, you don't think that would get old? You don't think that would be too much, like oversaturation with the audience? Like, you think that your girlfriends are gonna show up every weekend and watch you play
the same
every week,
bar
over and over at the same bar, doing the same thing every Friday, Saturday night? I mean, they're like, yeah. And I'm like, okay.
That's the guy that eats hot dogs every day for lunch and dinner.
You got to also understand your location. This is all things that we had to. I wouldn't say learn the hard way, but we encountered down here when we were playing, and there was a variety of a scene here in different locations for us to go between St. Martin and Gulfport and Biloxi and Pass Christian and Long Beach, and it was kind of different too, because they were all ages shows, so there was different little pockets of audiences there that wouldn't travel all the way to Biloxi or all the way to St. Martin to see a show. They'd only come to that one location. But speaking of all ages shows and being in bands, Joe. What have you and the guys been up to during the pandemic? What y'all been doing?
Wasting fucking time.
Awesome.
I mean, basically.
That's what I was hoping to hear.
Looking for guitar players.
Shit.
You wrote like 20 albums? That's what I was hoping for.
Like 3 new songs, man.
That's
year?
it, yeah.
Like, fuck, man. I mean, literally, it's just last year was just fucked. It's just weird.
But you all have recording studios. You all have home studios.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, they're not 3 songs.
I mean,
done in the bag.
We haven't recorded shit.
Unbelievable.
You know how it is. You get in there like, I spent fucking 3 weeks getting a fucking tone.
I'm glad
my favorite band's letting me down.
He's been too busy designing this bass with Fender the last year.
I'm going 23 and a half, like you said. Fucking going for it.
You got a T-shirt and says he's sponsored. You know what I mean?
So, but you guys still rehearse on the regular?
Yeah.
We got.
I mean, it was a little weird when it first started because Benji's parents are fucking old, and his mom.
How rude.
I mean, they're like fucking 80.
It's pretty old.
He's mostly a caretaker for his mom, so we had to be super careful. COVID.
Fuck them old people.
We don't want to kill his fucking parents.
Why were you looking at me when they're fucking old, man?
I was like, look, John, you probably went to fucking school with these people.
80 years old. Wow.
At least they're both. You don't have moss growing out off your chin like Benji does.
Not yet. Not yet.
They've also both been vaccinated recently. So
they probably know how the pyramids were built and shit. All right, sorry, that's a bad one. I shouldn't have said that. Well, y'all better get rehearsed up because y'all got a show coming up.
I know. Right? Apparently, that's what I hear.
Got a big money show.
When's your birthday, Phil?
My birthday is March 28th, and I'll be how old? How old do you think I'm gonna be?
Less than me.
Joe, he punted? How old do you think I'm gonna be?
35.
How do you think I'm gonna be?
I was gonna say like 14, but
I appreciate
based on that haircut. Yeah, I think you're old enough to join the military now.
I'm gonna be 35.
That's because
actually,
I watched the other podcast.
It's a weird age.
I heard you say you were 30.
It's a weird age. I'm halfway to 70.
Yeah.
Right. How did you feel at 35? Like, did you feel weird?
He doesn't remember.
I felt halfway to 70. I felt 70. But I knew I was halfway to 70, so it just made it fucking worse.
Yeah, my knees are hurting and shit. When I wake up, it's like harder to wake up. Whatever. We'll talk about it. We'll just get a put some testosterone in the body. We'll be okay. But anywho, what I was getting at is we're doing a big ass festival.
Here.
What are we gonna call it? KrohnKast Palooza?
Yeah, that sounds good to me.
We're gonna call it KrohnKast Palooza. We don't give a shit, dude. We're gonna pro record everything. It's not funny. Stop laughing. We're gonna pro record everything. We're gonna pro stream everything.
Yeah.
Everything's gonna be the highest level shit because look. I don't know if you guys have realized this, but I've talked shit about being a millionaire for the past 10 years. Right now, I gotta deliver. So I'm going to take out a loan for $1 million. And we got 6 bands lined up.
Solid logic.
We got 5 bands booked. We're going to get probably one more band. Don't ask me to play the freaking show. We're going to get one more.
Why do you sound so stressed out? This is supposed to be an exciting, happy time.
My wife's boyfriend's gonna let me sleep in the bed tonight. I know. So I'm not married. We got a shit ton of bands doing a juke joint March 27th, Saturday. X Bastards are playing.
X Bastards.
Holy shit! Who else is playing, Mitchell?
Dark Horizon. Believe it or not,
son of a bitch, as a 3-piece.
The return of Dark Horizon.
It's gonna be a big deal.
That's right.
And we're gonna have all the other podcasts in the area come help us host, the ones that will agree to do it, that can take off from going to the Olive Garden that night and fucking come help us host the stuff. And we're gonna do.
They have great breadsticks.
Yeah, the soup salad and breadsticks is a good deal. You can carb up and sodium up, but they're going to skip that shit and they're going to come out and we're going to do it and we're going to live stream it and we're going to put out. We got an 8x10 banner we're going to make and we're going to put it on the police station at Ocean Springs. And
it's one way to get the word out.
It's gonna be a big deal. We got Mike Yorks on guitar. He's gonna do like a 40-minute guitar solo.
Silent Trust is gonna play.
Northern
Light Suplex.
And we got a couple other dudes we're gonna add on to it, but we don't know if they're gonna be able to do it, because some weird shit going on. We're not gonna talk about it too much.
What's the date?
I'm glad you asked that. It's gonna be March 27th. It's a Saturday on the outdoor stage of the juke joint, and we're gonna have it's gonna be top level shit. There's gonna be free Jello shots. There's not gonna be free Jello shots.
It's gonna be the debut of Dark Horizon as a 3-piece.
Yeah.
Also the debut of my new band, Hissing Fetus.
It's
shit.
In my opinion, a terrible band name.
That's wait until you look it up.
We just alien. The Baptist Church Society is not coming out for that one.
Yeah.
You could thank Jared Cecil for that name.
Yeah, good job, Jared Cecil. He's sleeping on the couch. We're gonna incorporate some other shit into it too. Yeah. Like we might have some comedy stuff going on. I don't know. We're talking about it. We're working.
It's your birthday.
Out. It's my birthday. It's whatever the hell I want to do.
What time do you think you will be drunk that day?
I don't get drunk. First of all, I haven't been drunk since I was like 19.
Will you be drunk before you get to the juke joint?
I've been drunk since I was 19, dude. We're not flushing any basketballs down the toilet that night. You know what I'm saying? We're not doing it. But it's going to be a good time. We're going to release a flyer really soon, and we're going to put $2,000 behind it. It's going to be a good time. I did take out $1 million loan. That's not a lie. That's not a joke. We got 4,000 koozies lined up. We got stickers. We got shirts. We got you ever go to the NBA game? They got the shirt cannon.
Yeah.
I ordered a shirt cannon.
What all are we going to shoot out of that besides?
You could just throw it. The place is not that big, but I don't. I got a deal. It was like
more than just
Black Friday. All right.
Joe, you gonna have some new songs by then in 3 months?
Maybe. We got stuff we haven't played ever around here. I mean, we haven't played a show in a fucking year. I mean, last show we played right before Halloween with Die Caillou. That was it.
Yeah.
And it's just
that was at the grocery.
Yeah.
That was fun. I was there.
It was the last show we played.
Yeah, I remember that. That was a good time. It's a good time. There's a bunch of sweaty girls there that night. I remember that shit. That girl came out there, sweat was dripping down her forehead. Are you here with somebody?
Yes.
Like, yes. I'm gay. I like men. like those males.
Oh my gosh.
Go ahead.
John, thank you so much for coming out tonight.
Thank you both for having us.
Putting up with our shenanigans.
Yeah,
here.
we're gonna keep doing this because this is one of the few, like guys like you, guys like me, right? Uber talented, professional ass drummers with legit bank accounts. You know what I'm saying? Look at this guy. People come see us live, right? They'll come see us playing a show, but there's rarely a chance to talk to us or deep dive into what kind of person you are, right? Or what you're into.
Get a lot of folks come talk to me after shows. Apparently, I have. They think I'm an asshole, which they're not wrong.
Why?
You gotta work on
because
that.
of the mohawk?
Yeah, maybe. Well, yeah, when I had the mohawk, yes, probably. Or there's maybe thought I was gonna rob him in the fucking parking lot. I don't know.
Conceited.
You gotta work on that. You know, maybe be less intimidating in general.
They say the same thing about Joe.
Yeah,
they're like, don't talk to him. I'm like, but he's got so many pedals.
They all talk to me.
They're like, yeah, don't talk to him.
Yeah, like I feel like you're gonna check my inspection sticker. You know what I mean? Like I feel. But you know what I mean. There's not an opportunity to dive into who you are and what you're into, what your background is. So that's why we're doing this, and we're gonna keep doing it. And this is only this
was part 4. Yeah, when I first pitched this to Phil about having a series on here to do over and over again, he was like, yeah, that's a good idea, you know. And then I was like, just we'll do the kits and we can do comparison stuff. And then here we are. So the first 4 drummers, or I booked, and now he's gotten so excited about it. He's taken it over. He's booked the next 6 drummers. Yeah. I'm looking at my fucking phone, and we got drummers booked until August.
Yeah, we got some legit dudes coming on, dude. We got some legit dudes. I'm not gonna say that. They're probably watching. You knew what I was gonna say. No, we got some legit guys coming on, and the thing is, they can make drum videos all day and put it on their page or whatever, and say, "Oh, I'm in this band," and nobody really knows who they are, knows their background.
That's exactly
why
they come on here.
Yeah.
Well, thank you all very much for doing this, because then, like you said, it's an opportunity for us to get out and come talk.
Absolutely, especially now, because you can't do shit else.
Yeah, exactly.
You can't do shit else.
But also, thank you for bringing Joe, because just watching you play, getting to listen to him again. I mean, I felt the blood rush to my penis tonight. I was like, this I have been waiting for.
That was after he saw the pedals.
Cancel this guy. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I already know all his pedals. I know his pedal board by heart.
I'll call HR after that one.
He's got about half a dozen pedals on there I wouldn't mind playing with.
Yeah. Half of them were unnecessary, but that's just my... I'm not saying that.
They're all distortion.
They're not all fucking distortion.
They're made by a guy named Mike in Ohio that's 70 years old. We'll talk about it.
Joe, I'm so happy that you were able to come out, man, and make some noise. I'm looking so forward to getting to play with you guys, seeing you guys play again live in March. When's Blue Tuna going to play?
That's a good question. I have no idea. That's as soon as we can, I would imagine.
Tell Don, Todd, and MJ to get their shit together. Book a show.
Yeah.
Are you gonna have a gangbang reunion?
Man, I need to. Actually, that's some of the stuff I needed to talk about. I haven't done anything at all. Shane and I haven't had an opportunity to do anything, especially with the pandemic stuff, because he's got some little ones at the house, and that's another big deal for me with all the shutdown and everything else. Is I'm around a bunch of folks at work, and I wouldn't want to bring anything or to him and have him bring it back to this house.
Right.
So now that we're kind of getting past some of all this stuff and everything else, I foresee. Hopefully sometime in the future we can get back together and start getting some things together. We actually had some stuff happening right before all of that stuff. We were making some headway on some new music as well. We had a new member come in, not as Hallelujah Gangbang. We were looking at changing the name a little bit, but we had somebody else come in. And with this whole change of things, they're not able to do that either. They've got Jason Milliken came in and played with us, and he's got 2 little girls, and he's being full-time dad and full-time work and taking care of his girls, and then I applaud him for that, because that's what you got to do. You got to take care of your kids.
That's who's jamming with me over in
Is it?
Fetus. Yeah.
Oh, son of a-
I was talking about it last week about
speaking of kids,
jamming with a bunch of dads. How great it is! Everyone's
your Rickenbacker
a
hat,
father.
wasn't it?
Yeah.
Okay.
unbelievable.
Yeah, because last week we had band practice or whatever, and I was gonna make chili dogs, and I forgot the freaking chili, and because I was trying to get my kids in the car, and my kids are crying, so I remember to bring the hot dogs and the bun, but I forgot the damn chili at home, and so I go to I'm making hot dogs for everybody before we jam, and I'm like, oh my god, guys, I forgot that chili, holy shit, the kids were crying, and they're like, it's cool, man, it's cool. We forget shit all the time when we're like trying to take care of kids. So yeah, it's really great jamming with him.
He's a great bass player, man. He's easy to follow. And he's one of those guys like Joe that's been around as long as anybody else. And you can easily connect and stay in the pocket with those guys.
Yeah, I had to bug him for a really long time to finally get in a room with him. And I knew once I was, one-on-one with him, I mean, it would just fall into place. And it did, and it has. I mean, just really easy to work with. He's got good ideas. I mean, it's, you get a feeling when you see somebody play, and you're like, I can tell by the way that person plays. Like when I watch Joe play, I'm like, oh man, we could do fuzz, distortion for days, weeks, months.
Just in your underwear and just fucking.
You kind of pick up on that feeling. But yeah, like I don't know, 2 or 3 years ago, or I started bugging him, but it was the same thing, kind of like with you. I'd seen him play in a couple different bands, and I was like, man, this get together, jam, whatever, and one thing or another prohibited. But finally, he was like, yeah, I can do it on this night of the week.
Oh, absolutely.
But thank you guys so much for coming out tonight.
Yeah, for sure. You guys are God's gift to the rhythm section. I just swear to God, like
all 23 and a half frets.
All 23 and a half frets. Joe, John, Quave, thank you. Episode 22, part 4 of the drummer series in the books. We're going to do it again. See you guys.